Would you like to visualize how an attacker sees your cloud environment and which paths they can exploit? Would it be helpful if your team had a clear picture of where your cloud assets are at risk and a prioritized list of which issues to remediate? Viavi's Observer Sentry is a SaaS-based service that transforms the way you see and secure your AWS environment. This video demonstrates one example of how your team can cut through the noise and immediately identify and remediate a high-risk workload. Cloud environments can be complex and dynamic. In this simple demonstration environment with 2 AWS accounts and a handful of resources, mapping out all the assets and relationships isn't a trivial task. In production environments made up of dozens of accounts and hundreds or thousands of resources, with changes being implemented constantly, cloud architects and cloud security engineers need an automated way to visualize the environments, manage exposures, and prioritize risk remediation. Let's see how Observer Sentry can help. In our demonstration scenario, there are numerous teams making changes to the environment. Corporate policy mandates that only ports 80 and 443 should be exposed to the internet. And internet-exposed assets with critical vulnerabilities must be remediated immediately. We'll start with the summary dashboard, which contains a view of the top high-risk workloads. Clicking on the first resource in the list takes us to the security graph, which shows this high-risk resource in context with the overall topology. Let's simplify this view by only looking at exposures from the limited internet and by turning off the groupings so that we can focus on just this high-risk workload. Now we clearly see 2 exposure paths leading to the EC2 instance. There are 3 areas for concern here. First, this direct path from the internet to the exposed EC2 instance shouldn't exist. All inbound traffic should be routed through the Elastic Load Balancer. This path is the result of a misconfiguration. Second, this resource has Sentry prioritized critical vulnerabilities. So we have both an exposure path and critical vulnerabilities. Sentry recognized this toxic combination and move this workload to the top of the high-risk list. Finally, this EC2 instance has port 22 open to the internet, which goes against the stated corporate policy. Sentry can be configured to look for and report on this type of policy violation. The query library provides a collection of both pre-built and user-defined queries to identify specific conditions and generate notifications when a match is found. In this brief demonstration, we've seen how Observer Sentry can help you by automating the process of accurately inventorying and visualizing your environment, automatically identifying and prioritizing high-risk workloads, and proactively monitoring and alerting when policy violations or other unwanted conditions are discovered. For more information, please visit viavisolutions.com/Sentry.